Alright, welcome to the next episode of level 1 to 18. We just came back home from a Nexus night and we're just gonna go and discuss essentially the changes that we made and how the deck is looking right now. Let's go. Alright, so here's the deck. I'm just gonna have to find the proper angles in here. Um, yeah, let me just maybe put this on a stack of cards here. There, might be better. Yeah. Yeah, my tripod broke, so I won't have any gameplay footage for this episode, unfortunately. But I can still discuss essentially what happened. Like I've been mentioning, the Nexus Night, they're just dropping, so I just played a few games there with the deck, just to kind of see how it is and where it is at. And then yeah, I'll discuss the changes. So the changes for this week, it's not as drastic as it was the week prior, where we changed about 8 cards. Still a good amount of change though for this week. We did 5 cards. Yeah. Still have most of the stuff the same in here. Pentakill, flight, scrap heap. Oh, oops, that in there. Pentakill is not in order anymore. Alright. So for our battlefield, we haven't changed anything on the battlefields. So it's still our same battlefields, the reverse row, arena's greatest, and so on warrants. Right. And then the next thing is I'll show you what we've cut. So I've discussed this pretty much in the last episode that this might be getting cut, and it got cut. It's just not fast enough for what we wanted to do. Alright, and then the same goes with this here, the Blazing Scorcher. So those are the cards that we have cut from the deck right now. Alright, and then what we have added on here, as you will see, is 3 sneaky deckhands. This card has been amazing. So it's a really good addition to the deck. Very happy with this. So there's that. And then the other one is 2 Riot. So Riot has been great as well. You move a friendly unit and ready it, so it allows you to play something and then essentially give it accelerate. So it's been good. So total cost for these guys are about 50 cents each, and these are about $1. So yeah, so $2, $3.50 basically is the change or the stuff that we've had this week. The reason why it is $3.50 is because I totally forgot from last episode that we've also changed 2 runes, and these are about 50 cents each. So I didn't realize I went over budget on that, so I kind of cut the budget shorter on here. So overall, we are to $3.50, yeah, and then $6, so $9.50 in total spending so far, which is still pretty good. Overall budget wise, we're still there. Just I totally forgot to account this in the last episode, and yeah, just because it's so widely available, you can grab these, and so because I made that mistake, I kind of punished myself for this week. So I could have added one more Ride to Win, but I opted not to because that will bring us over budget, right? So anyway, just talking about the deck and the improvement. Obviously, this has been really great. Like I mentioned there, sneaky deckhand going second gives you, or yeah, going on the draw. Basically, going second, this card gives you a turn 1 play that just puts this in the battlefield and puts the same pressure right away, so you automatically get like 1 point right away, which is insane. It adds the fact that we really need the speed. This definitely adds it, so it's been good. Same goes with Ride the Wind. It's been good to get that the speed, and it also helps us with our finisher. Obviously, we want in the end game to use the Vi Ride the Wind combo. Now, speaking of finisher, that is essentially what we are missing in the deck. I played against Yasuo with this deck, and generally Yasuo is a an unfavored matchup to us because they can just start killing our units. Their units tend to be bigger, and then Yasuo, when it attacks, it'll deal damage first, or it'll do the when I attack effect, kill one of our units, and then trade the damage on the smaller units. Same thing with Kayn, moves twice, it won't get damage. So it just picks off our small aggressive units. So yeah, because of that, we just need something that will basically help us finish the games. But at the same time, though, it was really close. If I drew into a Vi, it was basically over. But obviously, with only one Vi in the deck, the chance of that's very low. But if we had more, then we could have gotten there. So essentially, yeah, that's the deck. Everything still remains great here. One thing I would note on this is, actually, let's talk about all the changes that I've done so far with the deck. All right, so let me just grab those cards in here. What else was the change that we did? Still there, Cleave. Arena's Greatest, and then the 2 runes. So we did change the runes because I felt like it started to get power hungry, and it's not like we like Sundisk wants to use it, or Jinx wants to use it for Accelerate, Void Seekers want it, that kind of thing. So, and it's been great anyways having 4, because we don't normally play some of the other ones. Then Flame Chompers wants it too, so it's nice having more red runes. But yeah, let's just talk about the changes. So overall, we added 2 runes, for about 50 cents each for that. The Cleaves are about 50 cents each, 3 of those. 2 Sundisk for 50 cents each, and then the 3 Noxus Hopefuls. Alright, and then triple Sneaky Deck Hands, and then the 2 Ride the Winds, and then the Arena Greatest. Now, for the cards here, most of these cards are basically commons and uncommons. So if you have a huge group there, you can probably get these cards for free even, right? Buy a starter deck, get these cards for free. If not, it's about $10 to get these cards in total. Why am I bringing that up? Because right now, actually, we are at a point where I'm very satisfied with the deck. For basically the price of a starter deck plus $10, the fact that it feels competitive enough, it's really good. Now, when I say competitive enough, I don't mean that if you bring this into a huge, like say 100 plus people event, that you would win. I mean, you could if you're really good and really lucky. Sorry, my words. But obviously it's not gonna be easy, right? But it is possible. But for something like your Nexus Knights, your locals, you can bring this and be competitive. It's not gonna, once you learn how to play the deck, you probably will not be going 0-4 with just your starter deck and a few upgrades, which is really good. And that's kind of what I want to bring up, is where the deck is really at the point where you can play this and just feel good playing it, and that's with minimal upgrades too, right? Like with the budget that we have, we're not getting our Dariuses, our Seals of Rages, and that kind of thing, right? But for what it is, it's a killer, and it's fun to play the deck, right? And that's a huge part of it too. It just made it so much more fun. It basically plays how you expect it to play, which is kind of ideal, right? So very happy with where the deck is right now, with the small changes that we have done. So yeah, it's a very small upgrade, but I do recommend trying it out. And yeah, as for the future, I believe I'm gonna check how much Vi's are. There might be $5. So it's whether I go up and change a few more cards. I don't know what I'm gonna change though. Every card has been very decent, except maybe Fading Memories. Now, that's not to say that Fading Memories is bad. Basically, we're just changing this and maybe putting this on the side and building our sideboards. Right, we still have the other cards that we've got rid of. We can just put them on the sideboard for now, as we do not have a true sideboard. Right, so if you play best of threes, just put some random cards in there just so you have quote-unquote sideboard. But yeah, one thing that we really need is to get a few more buys and then another Ride the Wind. So we'll see where our budget, if we do have 50 cents left over, so we'll add that on. If buy is $4.50, then we can get a buy and then a Ride the Wind for next time. If not, then yeah, we'll just have to see. But yeah, deck, I'm I'm just very happy with how Riot has created these starter decks. They don't feel super clunky, you know. Most, like, there are some games where you buy a starter deck and it just feels like you're chugging through to play the deck. It feels like cards that are like, you have your special cards and then the card that they just put in as fillers just so that they can make a playable deck. This deck actually feels like, the starter decks generally, they feel like, you could use them and play them as is, and with the minimal upgrades just make them better. But as is, they were very playable and it's nice to play with them. But yeah, other than that though, yeah, we're very happy with where we are. Just a few changes, I guess, and then like I said, they're probably cutting the Fading Memories to put them on the side, and then start thinking about the side deck. But yeah, we'll see where we will be at. We just really need good ways to close out our games, because now that we can actually get to 7 pretty fast. We just need ways to finish the games in the event that they answer our aggression, right? So something like Vi, where even if they answer our aggression, we can just get the Vi and then pop the Vi. You can get the 2 points that we need to in the game, something like that. Oh yeah, that's it for this episode. Like I said there, unfortunately my tripod broke, so we don't have footage of anything like this, and that's also why this kind of view is like this, very zoomed in. I don't really have a tripod, so my phone's just on the table here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys have been enjoying watching this and seeing how the deck transforms. Very fun. I'll make sure to link the deck list as well at the comments there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and drink your veggies.